Hey guys, so I know Halloween passed, but I quickly wanted to show you guys how I created this look. I hope you enjoy. I hate doing this voiceover thing, but I rushed through the video, so I realized that I totally forgot to explain what I was doing. So anyway, I'm starting with a moisturizer just to even out the skin quickly, and a primer. Then I went in with a full coverage foundation, just so that when I was applying the eyeshadow and the eyeliner, it could look like I was working on a blank canvas. I always apply the foundation with the beauty blender just because it appears more natural on the skin, and that's what I was going for with this look. I didn't want it to look like I was wearing makeup. You were just supposed to see the illusion of the holes on my skin, on my face actually, to give the whole skeleton effect. After applying the foundation, I used the translucent powder just to set it all in, so that when I was using the different shades of black and brown, the makeup doesn't move around on my skin. Using a transitioning shade in orange, I'm going to just color in the areas that I want to be darker, so that I know where I'm going to use the darker colors, but also so that it's easier when I'm applying the black and the brown shades. I'm going all the way in from the inner corner of my eyes right up to my brow, to where my brow is starting, and then I'm also just tapping on the bottom of my lid, and then I'm not going to go all the way up because I want to keep it there, and I'm also just going to go in with a different color brown to do the shading. I'm going to keep packing on the orange color so that it's darker, and then when I use the black, it's much easier to apply, and I won't need to keep on going with the black and the black and the black. Feeling for my cheekbone line, I also just want to color in orange where I want the hollow part on my cheek to start. Creating a line all the way down to where I want the hollow part to end. That's going to be at the bottom of my cheek, closer to my lips. I'm just going to draw a straight line right down, and then I'm going to keep packing it on so that it gets darker and darker. I'm not going to worry too much about how precise the line is, because this is just an outline of where I want the dark colors to be. And then I'm also just going to color in at that corner at the bottom, because we want it to go down almost as if our cheeks were sinking in and concaving. As you can see on this part now, I started with my nose because the top part of my nose is going to be a hollow section. Also, we are going to use a black fine line pen just to create more detail, but I'm starting with just shading the orange so I know where I want to do. In the corners of my lips now, moving out. I'm going to start shading in the temples now. Just make sure that you go all the way onto the hairline and right up to the top of your head as well. We wanted to create like a dirty, more rugged kind of look, so nothing has to be super neat and super precise right now, because we, like I said, we're just outlining and just mapping where we want to do the darker shades. What you can do is keep going back to areas that you've already done just to make it darker. If you're not happy with how it looks, you can just go over it again. I'm starting to outline where I want the teeth to be using a black eyeliner felt tip pen. Also, again, this doesn't have to be super neat. We're just drawing lines for now, marking where we want them to be. Once you've got the center line, you can go on and make the rest of the marks. As you can see, I've done that already. Now I'm just going from the cheeks and drawing a line outwards, and then going to fill, because we want a longer mouth so that it looks like we've got a full set of teeth exposed. Again, I'm just filling in the rest of the teeth, just drawing lines across from the top of my lip right down to the bottom, and you can pull all the way down. Like I said, it doesn't have to be neat. It can just be an outline. I didn't like how I drew the other lines, so I took it away just using a wet wipe. It was so quick and easy. I'm going to do a straighter line going all the way to the hollow section that I've created with the orange eyeshadow. Also, we're just going to do teeth along these lines, 2 lines going from the top down to the bottom. Obviously, the further we go out, the smaller the teeth are going to get, just so that it gives the illusion of like a 3D kind of effect of your mouth and your teeth. I'm drawing a line on the cheekbone just to mark where I want to do the dark shading. It's going to be much easier that way. I'm doing the same on the other side. Just remember that when you are doing these lines, you want to start and make them a little bit curved. We don't want perfect straight lines because we are giving the illusion of a dirty skull look kind of thing. You can see that once you look at it straight on, you kind of get the effect of like the sunken skull, cheekbones going inwards. Now I'm also moving on to my nose. This is going to be a little bit more detailed. We're going to try and make the lines as if it was a cracked nose, as if the bones on the nose were a little bit cracked. That's why I shaded on either side of my nose with the orange color, so that it was easier for me to mark out when I was gonna make the lines on the nose. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. I've watched a couple of tutorials. They usually just do 2 on the side. I wanted to go for more of like the flames, the flamey kind of look, so that's why I did a couple more in between, just small ones. Just to give it a little bit more extra personal, like my personal touch. Now moving on to the eyebrows, I made use of my frown lines. As you can see, I'm frowning here, and I'm just getting really deep into those creases so that it looks a little bit more real and just suits my face a lot better. I feel that closer to the eyebrows and the eyes, the frown line details really matter the most, because we really want to get like that mean mugging look, and getting the close creases is really going to give us that illusion of frown lines. Even at the outer corners of my eyes, I'm even doing some darker lines there where the creases and the wrinkles are, just to really pay attention to detail is important in the on the eye part. I'm even going at the top of my brow and just using my frown lines. I'm frowning a lot so that I can see exactly where the lines are. Even if they don't look right once you add the eyeshadow, at least you've got like a little bit of an outline as to where your frown lines are and what's going to really make you look mean. Now the fun part starts, using the black eyeshadow. I'm going again in the corners of my eyes. It's going to be the easiest part to shade, just because we can really get deep in the creases. Again, I'm sticking down to the bottom of my eyelid. I'm just doing gentle shades, and I'm obviously packing a lot to make it look a lot darker. I'm going to stick in between the lines that I've created with a black pen, so that we can work from there. I've done the other side as well and just did a lot of shading. Now moving on to the cheekbones, I'm just going to add on to the line that I've already created. I'm using like a flat brush. I'm gonna just stick to a straight line for now, following the line that I've created with the black pen. Just remember to curve it down at the end. Now moving on to my nose. This is obviously going to take a couple of brushes because we want it to be as detailed as possible. I'm going to start at the bottom of the nose just to add black as a base. As you can see, it appears really light in the beginning, but once you keep adding more and more and more, it does get darker. Definitely the trick to doing this look was a lot of shading. I think that if you were going to shade and shade and shade all the time, it was going to be the best look possible. Using a really thin brush now, I'm going into the lines just to create that really fine details. You see there's still some orange eyeshadow that's popping out, but that still looks really fine. We want to give it like a dirty kind of natural look. Going in again with a bronzer look now, I'm gonna use that color and to add to the shading so that it's not such a harsh shade when we pulling out the black colors. This is gonna give it's gonna be a nice mix between the black and the brown shades, just for that dirty kind of shaded look. Try and shade every area possible where you use the black. We want no harsh lines because we want it just to kind of fade into the skin and make it look a little bit more real and just to amplify that illusion. Now I'm taking the brown eyeshadow again and just adding a little bit on random places on my face just to make it a little bit more dirty and a little bit more realistic. You'll see that once I've added more brown on my face that it does kind of actually give the look a more darker kind of grungy feel to it. I noticed that shading around the eye area was also very important just because it added to the illusion of the whole sunken look, the eyes that are kind of like withdrawn into the skin. I also use my hands a lot just to make it more natural, more dirty, give it a more real feel. Oh, sorry, I actually didn't mean to say my hands, I mean to say my finger. Don't use your hands, use your finger. It's a lot more precise than using your whole hand. Again, I'm just adding some more brown details to the face. As you can see, the look is kind of pulling together now. The trick to this look was definitely just shading and using different colors of brown and black. From the initial line on the cheekbone, it was nice pulling the colors down further away from the line, because then it made the black shaded area a lot bigger. Again, just adding more to the illusion. Remember, we are trying to sell the fantasy here. Again, I'm just going into areas and shading. Like I said earlier, this definitely will pull the entire look together. I definitely spent the most time shading and just trying to create that illusion, the dirty, the darker, the more grungy feel. As you can see now, the lines that I did on top with a pen kind of faded into the eyeshadow, and I actually don't mind that. Again, I'm just using the brown eyeshadow to the temples just to make it all fit in. Like I said, I kind of rushed through all of this and I actually forgot to record some parts of the video, but I just used a really light eyeshadow to go in between the teeth to make the teeth and the mouth area pop a lot more. And that's it, guys. This is the final look. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this.